Good evening all. I, on behalf of Management Committee of the Bangalore branch, welcome you all for the study circle meeting on the subject broad concepts of succession planning in the Indian ethos. To speak on this, we have a senior chartered accountant and a stalwart in the profession, CA Nanu Mallya, and the other speaker is Kiran Rangaswamy. May I request the chairman Bangalore branch to please escort both the speakers and offer them the floor. Dear members, it's my privilege to introduce the today's speakers. First speaker, CA Nanu Mallya. Nanu Mallya is a seasoned chartered accountant having qualified in the year 1977, just 2 years before my birth. And a commerce graduate from St. Joseph College of Commerce, Bangalore. He is a founder partner of Mallya, a former convener of the Bangalore branch of ICI. He played a key role in mobilizing funds for its ICI bar. With a strong interest in professional development, he served as a director of management development programs, where he initiated impactful weekend courses such as accounts, business and finance laws, and finance for non-finance executives. Certified as a trainer by JC Institute in 1982, he has conducted numerous corporate training sessions for leading organizations like Ethos, Wipro and Taj Group of Hotels, among others. An active contributor to ICI education programs, he has facilitated GMCS and orientation programs across India and participated on the ICI Board of Studies. As a Rotary GSC scholar in 1984, he gained international exposure in US, visiting top CPA firms and corporates. A former district level athlete and enthusiastic amateur golfer. His passion for travel, culture and history has taken him across India and around the world. I would like to also introduce our second speaker, CA Kiran Rangaswamy. Kiran Rangaswamy hails from Bangalore. He has pursued his articleship training at Mallya and Mallya Chartered Accountants, where both Guru and Shishya is there. Where he has worked on senior associates in internal audits and statutory audits. He has also pursued his Bachelor of Commerce from the Bangalore City University. He is keenly interested in technology and embracing proactive in practice. Thank you. With this brief introduction, we present before you the speakers. Thank you. So, sorry, yes.
Good evening, everybody. Chairman, Chairman Manjula, can you hear me? If you don't hear me, please raise your hand. Okay. And Secretary Mufana, it's a pleasure to be here today at this study circle meeting. Yeah, all these years I was handling sessions on management and for the students. And when Manjunath called me to speak on the academic subject, I had not done it, but I wanted to do it after all these years. So I accepted it, and I have a team, and we have team of work together and to make this presentation today. It's a pleasure to come to this beautiful branch is to meet a young chartered accountant. I know what a role of a committee member is. It means a lot of time, a lot of efforts. They start missing their family, and their professional clients too. It's quite a job. And if everybody is working in today's time with this kind of enthusiasm, it's a big category. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best with your tenures ahead of you, and we are looking at more things in future. So with this formality, I would like to start my session on succession plan. So what I do is, I know, I would be more comfortable with you. Is it okay if I come and be a part of the audience making my presentation? Yes? No? Acceptable? Yeah, thank you very much. Succession planning in Indian ethos. Okay? Keywords are broad concepts. I don't think we have even one section to put everything. So I think we have enough sections in our life, but of course we need them for implementation. Yeah? And Indian ethos. We know we've been here for millions of years, or thousands of years, and we have our own ethos. And when we do this succession planning, we have to consider the Indian ethos. And we have decided not to move into other arenas as this right now. When we've done a lot of study and research, it's a part of our library. But we're going to limit our discussion, our presentation, to this Indian ethos. Okay. And it's going to be more of a sharing meeting. All of you, I think all of you are chartered accountants here. Yeah? Or any students here? No. Good. So I was telling my wife this morning, today I'm going to a seminar on succession planning. And I said, I may get brand new chartered accountants. When I say brand new, I mean all of you qualified recently. And we also have, I'm sure a couple of my colleagues are going to come in at time, who were with me and earlier. I finished 14 years of practice, and I'm 72 years old. That information I need to give you. But then I'm going to also meet somebody very senior to me also today. I'm sure they'll come in and share their viewpoints. Yeah? So, there's going to be a lot of exchange. And why am I talking about Indian ethos? When we went to the study, we found that it's too wide. And what's happened in the last 5 to 10 years, there has been a solid change in the demographic, in the attitude, lifestyle, and this has been very pronounced after the COVID, 2020, right? 2020 was the COVID, and that was a solid game changer in the whole world. Solid game changer. People are completely changed. In a way, very, very good. We are getting a new age where you can do, like Bill Gates said, business at the speed of thought. I should go for, I am going to share my personal experience. Okay with that? It's okay with you? Or you just want case loss? What about you? It's okay. Yeah. I should go for walks in the evening or morning. And I should tell my wife I'm going for a walk in Malaysia. I'm in Malaysia. I'm carrying a backpack. Would you like me to buy some vegetables and fruits? Yeah? Oh yeah. So make a list again. Just make fruit, vegetable, pick it up. So I have to go 1 hour walk, come back, vegetable, couple of kilos of vegetables. So two good things happen, walk. Okay? And my wife is happy that I've got a vegetable. She's a very busy businesswoman, but she cooks the food herself though. In the last 1.5 years, she stopped asking me for it. She's making it, let's say, fully over here. She wants brinjal, and she next 5 minutes, like, oh, there's no milk today. No, in a few minutes you have what you call that. Sweetie? What is it?
Zepto.
Yeah, Zepto, right? Yeah. So we have all this kind of thing happening in the last few years. The lifestyle has completely changed. And attitudes have changed. Now if we walk on M0 even Sapigir Road, we kind of eat these food, restaurant, and everything. I had to go to the CTR and there, but now you have fine dining vegetarian restaurants. From Malaysia till first cross till 18th cross, it become a area of gold, area of silk saree, area of eating. Now, this is not what I know Malaysia for. I have to do a quiet place, go around, go for a walk, play cricket, to eat, pick up the vegetables, get back home. Now, this is a change that has happened, and a lot of things that have happened. Since change that happened, it has impacted succession planning. And that's where we need to change accordingly to the time, considering what was there at the back. It's true, that culture. Yeah. Now, for example, let's see. Yeah, can we have the first slide to get that recall? Yeah. Next one, yeah. Can you operate this? Okay. And now, as I move into this, can you go to the previous slide, please? It takes me 2 minutes to get warmed up on it. Yeah, the first one, yeah. So, today we're going to go through in a easy manner, exchanging notes, and a two-way sharing of experiences. Because I am sure each one of you will have a lot of experience in advising clients on succession planning. So some of you have done it professionally so far, succession planning. Okay, let me make it simple. Will that estimate for your clients? You are done? Okay, good. You know why I'm saying this? So, Mallya form a partner, we're wondering, all the changes are taking place, audits are taking over, AI is taking over, and work is being done by the foreman, and all that. So what do we do next? And of course, we'll not talk too much, but we'll have enough, we'll learn if we change. Yeah, luckily in COVID, 2 years, 1 year, 2 years? It was 2 years, right? Lockdown. Oh, terrible time. You went through COVID too, all of you? And so I don't see hands raised. If you are saying you went through, it was a good time, right? You enjoyed it? Yes or no? You enjoyed it too? Yeah. Okay. I'm sure nobody enjoyed it. It was a terrible time. But then what happened was there was a switch to virtual education. And the institute came up with a beautiful program, including succession planning. What do you call it, webinar? So, enroll for that for a couple of days, I think, 7 days or 8 days. I did not do, let's do succession planning. Yeah, not do, understand succession planning. And I found it very interesting. You have somewhere in your profession done succession planning for your clients, but maybe you're not recognizing yourself. So now, after going to the program, I realized there's a beautiful new vertical for all of us. A new business vertical for all of us. What's the population of India? Can I answer from you? You feel loud enough here. 104. And that's almost 1/4 of the world's population. And imagine 1/4 of the world's population. In terms of opportunities, imagine. I want you to imagine 1.4. And just about everybody needs succession planning. It could be a simple thing. Okay? Like there could be a person who doesn't even own a site or a property, but he has some jewelry and some vessels and motorcycle and a car. What happens if he drops dead? Yeah? Who gets it? And today after the COVID, people are, banks and people are confused because a lot of the assets are stuck. No nomination, no this, no that. And I think it's a trigger, a beautiful opportunity for all of chartered accountants. But now, I can use it, right? We'll look at 3 Indian cases. Okay? But that, we're not going to very deep into that. We'll just talk about it. But understand what will happen. We did a Billa Loda case. How many of you are familiar with this? I want you to share. How many of you are familiar with this case? Yeah?
I don't remember exactly. We heard this case.
Yeah.
Other parents.
Anybody else? Yeah? No? How a chartered accountant became a chairman of Billa Group? Would you like to say something about that quickly?
Yes, R.S. Lodha is a chartered accountant who got this Baby Billa Group's share to his share. And should I go to the whole?
Let's just explain.
Oh, so I'll go from the beginning. So MP Billa was the founder of the Billa Group. So he had started, he was into cements, jutes. He was into cement business, jute business, all other business. And he is married to Priyamata Devi Billa. And he did not have any children. So there are no legal heirs so that his businesses will be succeeded to or will be devolved to. So what he has done after his death, all of the shares, his personal property, his business shares, everything was devolved into his wife, Priyamada Devi Billa. So that was the case and it was running smoothly after that. But after Priyamada Billa Devi's death, R.S. Lodha, who is the chartered accountant of Billa Group, came up with a will which he showed that all of the shares of Baby Billa is by will gifted to him by Priyamada Devi. This was opposed by the Billa family, which is the extended family, because they did not have any children. It was contested by the extended family. And as of now, even now, R.S. Lodha, who is Ravindra Singh Lodha, has got the shares. So as I said, in 2004, Priyamada Devi dies and all of the property shares, everything which was belonging to the Billa Group has devolved to the R.S. Lodha, who is a chartered accountant. And after that, the Billas argue. It is not the Billas for the sons or daughters because they don't have any children. It is the extended family. And there have been multiple courts, and even Supreme Court has said that you do not have any claim. And they have rejected the case because it is a frivolous case, because they did not have any right. Because they are not the inheritance, they are not the heirs to be illegally inheriting their property. So what did they argue is that there was a mutual agreement before the 1999 bill, which said that all the Baby Billa property should go to a charitable trust.
Keep the mic.
Hello. Is it audible now? Okay. Fine. So as I was telling, they contradicted. They said that the bill which transferred all the shares to Lodha actually contradicted a bill which was written earlier, which said that all the shares of Baby Billa should go to charitable trusts. It was their contention. But the bill which R.S. Lodha claimed is registered and it is a valid bill. So that is the basis he is fighting for, and is actually the owner now. If you see later, in Supreme Court has admitted appeals against the will, but it did not give any relief. So currently, Harshvardhan Lodha, who is the son of R.S. Lodha, who was the chartered accountant who received the shares, he is currently the chairman and is continuing to hold the share, and is being the chairman, is continuing the authority of controlling the MP Birla Group, and even courts have also supported that. And there are around 110 cases only around this dispute across multiple courts.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, so now we know who the owner of a good chunk of Birla shares. Okay, a widow who gave the money, made a will in favor of getting chartered accountant, and a fabulous amount. And I don't know what the valuation today, it might be mind-boggling. And with the voting rights, they're able to become a chairman of the Birla Group. So this is one case study which is there, which I think everybody is aware of. So what are the key takeaways?
So what is the convention of that?
Yeah.
Why they are
Yeah.
What is the convention of the
I need a little louder.
So what is the convention of the case?
Okay.
Why they are not?
Yeah, so what we'll get into that little later on, but I'll take your point. Okay, it'll be covered, not
So
today.
we didn't get the clarity of it.
Clarity of?
We didn't get the clarity of the case.
Yeah, I'll give it to you much later. Reason is, yeah.
So what happens to the dividends of those companies?
Oh, God, yeah. So, yeah. See, now that's why I said today, I will give, you'll get answers for that. You'll get answers. Because it's a big terrain we have to cover in next 3 hours. So most of the answers may come from the presentation. Or if not there, we'll clarify later. Okay? We'll talk about that. So now what are the key, I'm talking about the concept right now. Okay? Okay? Only broad concept. So now, key takeaways in this is the registration of a will add evidentiary value, but does not by itself prove validity. There are some wills earlier and wills later, and this was a registered will, but there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that it will come. And this is how it went to the Mr. Lodha. Okay, next. Okay, I'll take it. Here, what is important is court must be satisfied about the testator's free will, sound mind, and absence of undue influence. Yeah, that we establish that. So now you have to do due care. Now, why am I talking about this? You would have formally or informally advise your client, and our clients are coming back. Now, many of our clients are saying, what do I do? I could drop that today and tomorrow. And this is a good business for them. So we'll have to think, help him, take inputs from him, see what are the various case laws, and how to help him make a good succession plan. It could be a simple thing, and I'm not going to talk a whole session on wills. Okay, we're going to various other things. Will is one of them. So we are going to talk about this will and what you need to do, and there's no guarantee that it will give you a good result. Take away from this. Okay. I'm sure all of you are aware of Ambani's. Yes? I remember 1992, no, not 1980s, when Ambani was, I think, ordinary man, and he took over a sick mill, and then he came public, and that time India was under the, what you call, not a good market, didn't have any corporate investment other than a few families. Not like now. Now we see everybody is investing in share, mutual fund and SIP. But those that hardly anybody will know what share were. And that time, from this textile mill, you grew this company, an empire. And he had 2 sons. Anil, Mukesh, and it became huge. I remember that when he took up the textile mill, he started his textile brand called Only Vimal, if you remember. How many of you remember Only Vimal? Because it's our time, remember? Yeah. So we are able to relate to each other. So, textile, purely textile, and the brand was Only Vimal. It became a national name. We started taking over all the sick milk, paid them, got the shareholders to invest, and become a huge empire. I think today is the hugest empire in India so far. And I think coming up very high on the global scale too. Yeah, then there was a dispute. Personal assets, right plus 4 children, to succession, into succession act. On the right side of the business empire. And corporate control, held through trust, not here, I mean the concept, holding through trust. So this is one more thing that you want to keep in mind when you do consulting, okay, on succession planning. So, what happened? Corporate control held through trust, and here Mukesh Ambani had dispute, then they had to, mother had to settle it, and part of it went to Mukesh, went to Anil, then the rest you know what has happened now. Okay? So Mukesh has been successful, but not so Anil. But let's see what happened. A lot of changes are taking place. So what happened now? What happens now? Not having a will intestate can destabilize even the most powerful families. You have seen the Mallya case, you have seen the Nanu case, how it can disturb the whole empire, within the empire. So, what does it mean for us again? I keep on repeating that same thing. It means there's an opportunity for succession planning at the yeah. So, now, what do you mean intestate? What do you mean intestate? Without a will. Yeah. If you don't die without a will, it's called intestate. And there will be what comes into play in the succession act or Indian succession act and Hindu act. Okay. So when do you make a will? I want to answer from you. I want a little louder, please.
Anytime before.
Yeah.
Anytime before you feel you want to transfer yourself.
Yeah.
Then you can make any number of times.
Okay, correct. But when is the best? I mean, when should you? The first time, that's it.
First time,
Yeah.
everything our assets are of decent size.
Okay. Any other viewpoints?
When you are in sound mind,
Yeah.
As such, have kids.
And so as you what?
Have kids.
Kids. Okay.
when you are in
So I
sound
want to get
mind,
into a discussion on this. See that so that you have kids. Okay.
when you are in sound mind,
Okay, that's sound mind.
because there are challenges.
Correct. Precisely. Yeah, any other viewpoint?
With doctor as such, specify that there is inside.
Isn't?
With the doctor only.
With a doctor. Yeah, correct.
Witness, two witnesses are required.
Yeah, good. All that is operational, but a lot of concepts. Okay. Why do we need to talk about concepts is, many people say, well, I'll make a will when I'm 70 years old. Because I may die anytime. Correct? Is that a good concept? I'm asking you, I want answers from you, because today is not I'm going to just agitate your mind, stimulate your mind, and get you start thinking on that. So when should you make it? Because I am an official version. Where that you're trying to come up with this for yourself. Okay? Yeah? So it's good. We're going to solve the family's problem. Give good advice and implement good success plan. They're happy with that. And they pay your fees for that. Yeah? I'm triggering on that thought in your mind. Okay? Yeah, so when?
50 plus.
Yeah?
50 plus.
50 plus? So we have somebody. Yeah? What do you say? What do you say? Yeah?
When you feel there are going to be issues.
Okay. Any idea from your side? Okay. To my mind, even if you have very little assets, When I say such good thing is property, and it's said to be a motorcycle also. Yeah. Or it could be the gas cylinder at home, steel vessels at home, refrigerator, yeah, microwave oven. There are such.
Gas cylinder belongs to HP company. How can you make a bill for that? You cannot make a bill of someone else's property.
Yeah. If it's not borrowed, no EMI, it belongs to.
Unless you own it, you cannot
Yeah,
make a bill.
sure. I know, we are living in the world of EMIs. Yeah, that's a correct. Come. Yeah, today the whole world is living in EMI. When the middle bank to ask for the loan for profession, you know how many, that was 1977, how many questions that the bank asked for just one table, one chair, a typewriter, that I know, and 2 chairs. And the roll number is 2004. A million question. And today you just tap, you want 5 lakh, 10 lakh, that's a click.
Pre-sanctioned.
Yeah.
Pre-sanctioned.
Pre-sanction.
Approved loan. Readily approved.
Approved loan before you ask for it. So now that's the change. So what's going to happen is that you will be landed with assets and liability both. And if you're not paying on time, liability. But let's not look at the liabilities today. Let's look at the assets. Because the parts of the furniture or property, that's still pretty expensive nowadays. And you can run up a big asset value. Let's assume you're 15-year-old and you already that today, you did very well in CA, give you a motorbike. Or aunt give you a gift on your, what do you call it, threads of money, cash, coin, silverware. But those are assets. So at 15, you landed with a lot of assets. So what do you do? Can you make a will? Can you make a will? Yes or no? Why not?
Minor, no?
Minor
15 years is minor.
Yeah, it's minor. You must be minimum 18 years. 18 years, 1 day. Okay. Make a will. So accidents happen. You see, nowadays we have television which shows people crash, die. So to my mind, even if you have very little assets, just make a list. Make a will, it takes only a few minutes. And you do. That's it. So age is not a criteria. You do it immediately after you are 18. But of course it's not practical or may not want to do it. You would like to make plans, fine. Then succession will come into place. Now in the Ambani's case, Dhirubhai Ambani died suddenly of a heart attack and he passed away at 59. So obviously he didn't have time to make a will, or he thought to make a will later, but he died in place. So the kind of complication that happened later. Try it, it's simple, it's not very difficult, make it very non-difficult. Sit down with the chartered accountant, sit down with the advocate. Yeah, at this point, what I also want to tell you is, who should be doing will? Who are good at making wills and testaments? Chartered accountant or advocates? Advocates. And disturbing your mind. I want to answer from you.
CA only better.
CA?
CA is the better.
CA is better?
Financially he knows everything.
Yeah?
Financially he knows everything.
Financially, you know everything.
He can prepare a statement of affair. He can prepare a statement of affair, but the legal language, lawyer advocate will be much better. After my demise, should it go to spouse and then it should go to the kids, it can be very much defined to the property by an advocate that channel.
Beautiful. Don't give a hand to him, please. Yeah. See, now I want to get into this kind of thinking because chartered accountancy and finance and assets, but a lawyer need not be. not by profession, they are not supposed to be as financially, what do you call, financially competent. Financially competent. But the drafting of bill is very important. And most chartered accountants, I believe, have not gone into training for drafting bills and documents. Am I right? Yeah? So if you have to make a good successful plan, you need to have a combination of chartered accountant and advocate. We tried to do it and the report was rejected one second. You're not drafted, sir. Go to the dismissed. Instead, spend time with the client. Yeah. Find out what did I say, what does he want to do, how does he want to do that. Make a list, put a financial number, sit with an associate or advocate if you have in your own office, draft it, show him, and then show it to the client, and if you're happy, good. But again, the caveat is, just like in that case, first case, that case, even if it is a registered will, anything can happen, right? So, we have to be careful, even with the best drafting and best advisory, it can be contested by the highest. Okay. Speak a little louder, so yeah?
Yes. So now getting to the next case, it is the Raymond family case. So you all know about the Raymonds, right? It is very well-known brand. This was started by a father and son duo. They started this business, and the son, who is the Vijaypath, who was established in 1925 by the Singhania family.
Speak a louder, please.
Yeah. So it was established in 1925 by the name Raymonds Limited. And it is a family-owned business. As I said, it was started by a father and son duo. And later, now as you know, it has gone into getting listed in the stock exchange market. And it is a very leading textile businesses. And they have been using very catchy taglines to capture the market. So now what happened in this case is, so as soon as the Vijaypath Singhania, who is the founder, has reached around 50 years, he wanted to distribute the wealth to his children. He had two children. One of them was Gautam Singhania, and the other one has extinguished his share, and he went into abroad and he settled there. So his share also was with the father himself. And initially only 5% of the shares were given to Gautam Singhania, who is the younger son. So initially he started getting into the business. He was training, and then he got into the management position. Later, after 15 years, the majority of share which was held by the father, Vijaypath, was transferred to Gautam Singhania out of his love and affection, because he wanted the business to grow, and he cared for his children, the younger son. So after that, what happened there is, the business mindset of the son Gautam was very different from that of his father. Father, as the founder, had very keen principles on how as the founder, you will have a keen principle on how you build from scratch. But that of his son was very different, and he sold many of the non-textile businesses. They were into multiple businesses. By the time the son took over the control, he sold all of them and only retained the textile business. That was his management style. But the thing was, the father did not like this, whatever he sold, and his business idea and his business style was not liked by his father. So that was the concern father had, and that is where the dispute started. And after that, father also publicly made statement that do not give everything you have to your sons, even though you might have love and affection. Just don't give everything to your sons, your heirs in your lifetime, because you may regret it. Now, because he does not have any control over it, the father's vision, even though it was not the vision of the father founder, he couldn't do anything because he has gifted all the shares to his son. And coming to the elder son, he had 4 daughters, and 4 daughters also have now come and they are starting up the cases to claim their share in the businesses. And the dispute is going on now. And currently, the Gautam Singhani has now children, and they are also planning their succession. So the main case of this is the dispute between Nanu sir will take over from here.
Yeah, so take away. Should create transparent, well-documented, successful plan to avoid misunderstanding and conflict. Yeah? Okay, can you hear me? Crucial to differentiate family matter from business management. To maintain stability and protect business interests during succession transition. Now, what does it mean for you and me? Okay, all the big businesses are being audited by big firm. We don't get this kind of contract. No client. They come to this idea. Hello. Hello. That's okay. That's okay. So, crucial to not mix it. And the thing is, oh, where are you going to get this big client to pay the big fees? Yeah, that's not good in our mind. But now you see what? Look at the environment now. It's changing completely. And today the small shops and all are going to disappear in due time. They're going to get connected to all the big supply chain management companies. That means you're going to be a part of this business. Okay, so big companies run it, you become part of it, and then you get a share of sale, profit, and everything. And you make the money. The petty vegetable fellow, the petty fruit fellow, small businessmen, they may disappear in due course. This is the time when they need advice. Are they going to just disappear? No. If you can help them, perhaps you, but they don't even know that they have to ask you. I don't know what I do, I'm just floating. So you must have a meeting, having a tax audit or company audit or something. That's the time you have. How they do it? Oh, business is down, I'm going to close my shop. And you can see all closed doors, boards everywhere. But that's the time when you can actually help them. You can help him. Hey, what to do this? Come here, I'll help you with it. And show you a little later. One or two personal cases last 10 years that I've encountered. Ordinary looking small businesses with very small assets have closed down, but I could see gold mine in the future. And I say, you don't know my business, I won't talk about it. Or client don't know to ask me a question. They are fine, okay. Have a coffee, have a tea. And talk about it. Nothing. They don't need to ask me. I'm like, okay. But it might stimulate his mind. Hey, you don't understand. Why don't we talk about it? I won't charge a fee for 2 meetings. Yeah? After that I charge, if you agree to have a contract. And if you really do that, you may start opening with you and they know what are the strong points, or what are your assets. Assets being not financial assets. Just capacity, experience, and see how we can handle it. So, stimulate it, go for a few discussions, and then try to, with you using intellectual property, capture. Then start consulting, advising, and say, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Yeah, and this could happen. And this is what could happen. And you have to rejig the whole thing, and you can do it. There's a good chance that they don't thank you very much. Let me also say thank you very much. But you were like, hey, Darren, I'd like to have a couple of meetings with you. But let's discuss. So then you can start off some discussion with it. I'll give you some personal case studies. This is, of course, my personal, so I'll have to give from my case. Yeah?
The will is governed by Hindu succession and other technology.
It's going to be supported. Yeah, it's going to be until 8:30. Until what time is the session? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So, this is just the beginning. Okay, I'm going to take you through everything. You're not very good with the integrities of the law and the thing. That's why I said broad concept, because today we need to have broad concept. Then you can get into integrity. Yeah, no point getting an integrity because you won't get a business. So what you talk to a client, you are the smallest client, and have you made a money? Illa Pamadi. Mari Wata. Allah Tumbo. Frustrated. Illa Pamadi. We start discussing, then we start opening up one by one. Yeah. They don't even understand, they want motivation, they want and they start discussing that. And then finally you realize how the. I remember one client of mine 40 years ago. He just did very well and he acquired 4 sites. Nanu, we have a very personal nature when we talk to each other. I have a house to tell you. Came from my father, he gives it to me. Yeah, I have bought a Mercedes car because I wanted to feel that I was right. So he bought a Mercedes car, a second and first time. And then he said, I got 3 sites. I'll give one to my son, one to my daughter, my lifetime obligation, done. I said, if you want my advice, look at, unfortunately I didn't charge him well, or didn't charge him at all. Don't gift it in your lifetime. Now he's 70, he's in the United States. You know, I got health issues and real appearance. You know what he said? Nanu, thank you very much for the advice. Because children who are 30, 40 want to sell it and do something. And they know that they'll do not the right thing. Yeah? And today he said, now we go do something on it, there's no property, and the income from that is delivered to us. Children are happy with that. So that's what we can do as consultants. Yeah? So personal case study, I'll give you this because it's happening everywhere. Okay. You know what paths are ahead? Yeah? No. Good. Because he happens to be one of my clients, but I codified it. Because somebody might know him, somebody in the group, it will be a client or whatever, so I codified it. It's a question of somebody who has a business, a good business, doing very well, about 10 to 50 crores of business. Then he has son, a daughter, 2 sons and daughter. One son knows, okay, not good in study, but he was good in doing business. Other son was studying, so he went abroad and settled down. Yeah? Daughter got married, gave her what has to be given, jewelry, mandated. And she was very clear, I don't want anything, I got it. It's between 2 brothers, father and mother. Now what happened in it? Over the years, they did very well, exceedingly well. Sites, property, assets, liability, big business valuation in terms of a small company, private company, business valuation, you do the valuation yourself, and you realize if you sell it in the market, you can get about 10, 12 crores. And there's a fight over that. The fight is, you sent him abroad, education, he settled down there, earning big money, and we are sweating it out day in and day out and making money, and a share of profit goes to him in America. He gets the American income, he gets the Indian income, right? Unfair. So I had 10 meetings. I could come nowhere to any solution. And finally I told him, that's enough, unless you pay me X amount per day. So he stopped. Now that's the reality. Okay. Then we did 2-3 cases like that, say to him, stop. So that means they're not willing to pay the fee, but lose crores of rupees in litigation. And now let's get that. So now what we have done is understanding the Indian ethos, not pain, is too independent. Okay? So what we need to do is stimulate the mind and hey, now is that what they say? Yeah, correct, no. Hey, let's do a meeting tomorrow, that's not normal. So sometimes the wife and the husband come, sometimes the wife comes, and the husband comes, they come separately, whatever it is. And then we have a talk. Okay. And we discuss about it. In this case, I tried my best for 15 minutes. And I sent him a small bill, very small bill. He said, I can't do that kind of fees. 10, 12 meetings of 5-hour duration. I cannot do. I said, what? Nothing, no solution. I mean, solution there, you're not implemented it. So all my time is good work. Yeah. If you want a good solution, pay good fees. That's the mantra that we need to have. So get into the mindset. And after all, whom are you dealing with? People who are assets. You're not cheating them. You say, everybody charges me. My lab charges me. My dentist charges me. They're paying in advance. How many of you collect, as salary accountant, collect advance fees from my client? Good. Can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand again? Can you raise your hand again? Yeah. Let your hand again. Let your hand again, because these are concepts, because this is very part of your future. Let your hand to it, please. Yeah. That mindset is not the client mindset, it's our mindset. Let's get it straight. Your client doesn't pay. It's because we don't collect.
You don't ask us.
Yeah?
We don't even ask on right time.
Correct. No, first of all, you don't ask a fee. And secondly, qualifying you will say, which we have record bill. And gone. Bye. Yeah? So, I like it. If you're charging in advance, fantastic. Start charging in future. We all learned by past. We lost a lot of money in the past. You know what the cost of overhead? Cost of an article student? Cost of an assistant? Not salary alone. Behind the salary, expenses, office space, the staff, and million things. And the client walks away. Learn it the hard way. No. First 2 meetings, just stir in mind. If you want more, say X amount. For 2 more meetings, collect. Understanding, say that I am willing to help you out for next 2 years in successful planning. This will be my fee. And of 50% give you, or 25% give me now on a milestone. You pay me this much. Yeah? And stick to it. Oh, neighbor said, I have to pay litigation. I have to pay my rent, I have to pay my salary, I have to pay my stipend. Yeah? I have to pay myself. I have to give home money to my wife also, otherwise, complications. Yeah? So we have got to make a living too, right? Yeah? So, get into that. You are the prime mover in this. And then you are in, and every time I look at the Indian population map, 1.4 billion, whoo, If you're Donald Trump, what do you say? What a number of business. There's a lot of business. Or Western countries, it is okay. And it is okay to charge a client if you're bringing value. Bringing value, what's the problem with charging? Are you in agreement with me or not in agreement? Yeah? No. Oh, check. You got only 10 crore. Oh, no, you got only 100 crore. I got only 50,000 in bank. And it's taken 8 days of that. Can you quickly go and stand up and tell what is the recommended fee? Yeah?
In class A cities, the recommended fees for arbitration and consultation is 35,000 for the first time. And additionally, for every hour, you'll have to charge more. The recommended fees at minimum is 35,000 for class A cities. You will see that table in the upcoming slides in detail.
Yeah, what is per hour for a senior?
For a senior, it is 4,000 per hour additionally after the initial 35,000 minimum charges. This is the base minimum recommended by the ICI.
So, yeah, thank you. How much you're charging the initial recommended? Yeah? Okay, 50%. 25%. You're not stranger. Our institute saying recommended fee. Recommended fee, the amount of time I spend on it. So कम से कम पर 30,000, 20,000, 3,000 करना होता है. 10 दिन का करना होता है 3 लाख. And delivery and stopping. So you think. It's all about the mindset. Yeah? Think, it's okay to something. You can do this value to him. Then he will agree. If you don't charge, you don't expect him to give you extra fees, and they will, that cannot be. No, not going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to get you value. I'm going to solve all the problems. This will be work. I got a solution for you. But let's understand each other. But when we start, I give you 2 free meetings, but the third meeting you will pay X amount, and next 5 meetings we will discuss a fee, and I'll have a plan for you for the next year, and you could be X, Y, Z, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever. Yeah? Yeah? Think. And that's a mindset change that you're looking at. In this case, I tried 10 meetings. I set a bill for 10 meetings, just a small amount of 5 into 10, 50, 80,000 bucks. He said, oh, that's too much, too expensive. He sent 5,000 to us. And I said, thank you very much. And we closed it. And then we jammed all this. Jammed the phone, jammed it. I know, a couple of times frantically tried. If you don't do it, your client will go. Your client comes. It has happened, but we are afraid to lose our clients. Where can they go? We have to go to one charter account, another charter account, another full supply. But if you have to fear, you can't charge. If you don't have fear, the client will certainly pay. Okay? I can give more examples, but I don't want, because a lot need to be known at conceptual thing. So in this case, what happened in the previous case? I tried, and finally I said, succession planning cannot happen. Not even dispute resolution. What's certainly going to happen is litigation. And you know litigation. I'll talk about litigation. Litigation in Indian courts takes 30 years, 40 years. I had a friend from Gujarat, in some small place in Gujarat. He had a grandfather property dispute. And he started out, it was only his father, mother, 3 sons, and he was here. They said, we're selling the land. We've got about 10 acres of land. They said, we are litigation for last 20 years, 30 years. Totally, over the period of 20, 30 years, the size grew. From 4 it became 8, 16, and all that. And And finally it was settled by everybody consenting. Only one person would not give it consent. And that's why the court took so long. Finally they consented and they divided property worth crores. Then I said, oh, good news, settled, oh, fantastic. How much did you get? देखो ना भाई, 1 लाख मिला, 3 बरस के बाद, फीस कितना दिया? मेरा तरफ से 10-20 लाख फीस दिया है। Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Who's the victim? So the mindset changed. So I tell them, disputability next 35-40 years in the court. You know how many levels are there? Normal litigation, High Court, Supreme Court. This is another case. Okay, so that was not successful. Because in my mind it was into disputability. But if it had happened and if it followed, you would have been happy. Yeah? So, this is again codified. Okay. This was a small client. I'm not talking about small and big clients, but small businesses. So this was done by father. He had 2 sons and 1 daughter. Daughter married, 2 sons. And then what happened? One was in charge of the shop, taking care, one in charge of supplying and going on the ground and collecting money from the state creditor, state debtor. And played a beautiful role. But later dispute happened. They were spending more, they were working hard, the sun, dispute. And the business came from this level to this level in a one form. Okay? Then finally, I didn't know about it. And finally, sister called from Bombay. I said, look, Nanu, मैंने गुजराती थे Nanu, हमारा भाई वो बहुत धक्का रहे दिल में तो बंद कर दिया अशोक का रंग बंद 10-15 वर्ष हुई 10-15 वर्ष हो गया तो क्या हो रहा है उनको भी पैसा नहीं देते I said, let the board of son come in here with a later election. And they came, okay, and they said, okay. I said, this sister, you come, you talk about it. She came, and sat in my chamber, one brother, another brother. I said, say whatever you want to say. They went on, say. Okay, then later I have 3 or 4 specific questions. And this is a case of where it was successful. I said, you're sitting in a shop, you're meeting, taking care of stock, employees, goods in and out, first demanding. Then after, younger son, what do you do? I go to market, collect money, they don't pay school, this, that, but I'm working hard, he's working hard. But they don't get on. No, sister said, what to do? Balance is very simple. Subhina balance it. I said, I don't see any immoral property. Near the office, not any other non-business asset, immobile asset. So you don't have a problem, a problem less. But you have a tendency, right? A tendency you can know. Prime area of Bangalore, old area. Tendency means we get paid for tenancy. And in Hindi or Gujarati, we call it pagdi, we call it pagdi. The landlord shares with you and the tenant gives to the next person, next tenant. He gets 60% and the other person, the landlord gets 40%. That's what that means. All 3 are happy. Old tenant, new tenant and the owner. So, कितना हो सकता है? 2 करोड़. Pains कितना है? What goods you have? 2 करोड़. दूसरा क्या है? That means you have a tenancy, stock, okay, trade data. I said, look, tenancy is worth 2 crore. for you, what they pay you, the landlord and everything, it's up to them. So how much do I, what an idea they were sharing a 2 crore into partners. I'm asking you. Yeah? 50-50. अच्छा तो if you get out of the place, you get 2 crore मिलेगा ना? अच्छा 1 crore आपको 1 crore. अच्छा. Then I said, you're in the shop all the time. He is outside all the time. He knows the trade data. He knows the thing, hardware, the amount of stock. Achha, we do like that. Throw some suggestion for you. Suggestion is, you're in a shop. You know the value. Whatever the value which you have, are you agreeable to that? You take over. Instead of 50-50, it will take 60. And give 40 to the person. Then I ask the other brother, yeah, you can collect debtors. I said, secondly, you collect the money and give 60%, 40%. You do discount, break. So 60%, 40% in stock. 60%, 40% other way around to get over. Manzura. Okay. 2 minutes, made a 2-page agreement and witness system. And both of them settled the matter was going 15 minutes. They hugged each other and cried for 5 minutes in my office. And my sister is okay. हो गया. खुश हो? हाँ? खुश हो? Now you see, when things get fair, nothing can happen. Yeah? And it's like for you. My client after that said, not a bad guy. Check it out account, you fill up whatever you want. What is it? Check it out. I brought peace in my house, but I'm happy. I brought now I know I'm doing 2 different businesses. That's a solution. And that's a decent check, not too exorbitant. I'm going to check it as well. Are you available? Okay. You got 10 clients, 20 to 30 clients, 50 clients. It's an opportunity. It's not being materialistic. They need solution, bringing value, you're getting paid for it. And today the business becomes big, you don't know what it is. They're going. And the future is good. Yeah. Okay. I will not get into this case because it's another case. Because I need to keep a track of time and I want to give you the whole panorama of concepts. Yeah? But what I would like to say in this case, sometimes I can see solution right there, like these people, and ego, I'll teach the fellow a lesson. And the other person, I'll teach the fellow. Because in my meetings, I have one meeting exclusively with that person, then get them together and say, go and come back to it. And that's it, solution down and find the life. In this case, it's a beautiful solution. No? You're going to walk away without it. You're going to walk away without it. You're going to be rich and you are independent. No dispute. So, finally they didn't do this because I want to teach them a lesson. Ego issues come. I don't know. After all this work, you want to separate, follow. Now, all battles, disputes all over today, historically, are fought over. Now, what do you do? Read this otherwise. I want you to read this for a time. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? I can see some people smiling.
Already there in Kannada court.
Kannada court as well. No. All the dispute. You see maturity. But today discussion only on second and third. It's a natural law. So, one thing we to understand, disputes are normal. Actually, when I used to go to hospital before, see a lot of people crying and dying, injured. I should ask my dad, why is that the hospital? Then the hospital. Good idea? Then you don't see all this, right? What's the answer? Bad hospital. Every time I go, somebody is dying, sick, broken. And no. You will see, you won't understand now, you will understand later. Yeah. And you go to hospital, पहले एडवांस नहीं करना और 3 दिन के बाद it's अच्छी fine pay the balance bill hope you are all insured fully insured for medical purposes can afford all the hospital bill ICU is 1 lakh per day minimum. They're in ICU for 10 days. Can you imagine? And which insurance company is going to cover the whole expense? Think about it. I'm not going to do so. You're going to think about it. Okay. So, you have to consider in what context I'm saying this. We need to create a well for ourselves, at least in our language. Okay, so that we live to be 90, 95. Nowadays, getting normal average Indian expectancy 72 or 74. But people are now living to be 90, 91, 92. So we've got resources 92, 93. We need to have livelihood. We need to have money for insurance. Okay. In our, what do you call, sunset years. And sunset years, 21st, okay, sunset years. So anybody about 60, 65, sunset years. So you need to not only have sufficient capital to meet your expenses, but a thing called inflation goes up. Boom. You know, in school, college, petrol was 95 paisa. Now how much is it now? Into 100, period, that's all. Doctor should charge 2 rupees, 5 rupees. Now a doctor is meeting with 2 rupees, 2,000. And now don't have to pay cash. UPI. Yeah. And then instead of making you secure, they make you insecure. Am I right? I want you to agree or disagree with me. And they show you all the big screen, your heart beating. But heart been beating the last 60 years. But we never worried about it. When they show it on the screen, they worried about it. Yeah? They look at it. Yeah. They take the call along with us. Many ideas. Surgery, okay. I'll live normally. I'll drive when I retire. But I'm not going to spend this money. And now, we have to consider this not from our own perspective. We have to talk from the client. As a client, do the people live for 1995? How old are you? 45? How are you going to manage it? What about your education? What about marriage? What about this? And unless you plan your answer, you can't put in a fixed deposit loan. It will not be enough. You need to juggle, be smart, make the money, do new kind of businesses, and therefore have money for your lifetime. Yeah. Okay, it's a tough thing. Succession planning towards regeneration, the cycle. Rich, downfall, poor, right, good regeneration. That's absolutely normal. There are only a few exceptions, but that's normal. Only 13% survive with the new generation, or the third generation in India. Average time for succession dispute, 3 to 7 years Indian court. They are being very, very optimistic. Yeah. To my mind, 20 years, 30 years, infinity. outside policy. Like a client from Gujarat, 1 lakh मिला, रख के पास, and look at the cost of intestate succession. Cost, take all the cost. The court fee, the stamp duty, the lawyer fee, this and that. It almost has 15 to 30% of the estate. That means somebody dying with 10 crores, 3 crores, 100 crores, 30 crores. Yeah. I think it was said by Nirmala Sitharaman. Yeah, quickly.
So if we look at the unclaimed assets as in there is an asset, maybe bank deposit, shares or other things which is not claimed because we don't know who is the owner of it. It is left unclaimed. And why has this happened? So if you see the number wise, it is the 2 lakh plus crore is the unclaimed assets that is there in India. And we don't know who is the legal owner to be transferred that to. So and the causes for this is basically the higher unawareness is the 40% cause. Because we don't know, maybe the father or the parents would have not disclosed it or not properly documented that what all the shares they have or what all the money they have kept in. It could be secret. They would have not shared, and that being the reason, higher is unaware of that asset being in existence. And that contributes to 40% of the 2 lakh crores. And the next 3 comes into the succession planning categories. It could be poor estate planning and procedural complexity. What, as I said, 15 to 30% of the cost in case of an intestate succession, that is where a person dies without a will. 15 to 30% of cost is consumed there along with the time. As I said, 3 to 7 years, being optimistic, that is the time. And the complexity also contributes in the remaining 3 parts. Higher is aware of this asset, but is not able to get it because of these complexities. And the documentation gaps contributes to 10%. This could be the legal validity of documents and other things, where the documentation is the issue.
What do you mean by
Unclaimed asset is in, for example, let's say there is a share, 10,000 shares, which was bought by a father, but the heirs are unaware that that shares exist. So even the children, the heirs don't know, nor does the government, nor the authority knows who does this belong to. So it is pending with the shares, or in case of bank accounts, it is there with the banks. So there are so many government initiatives. The first one is the IEPFA portal. This is the Investor Education Protection Fund, and around 1 lakh plus crore shares of dividends, shares and the dividend equivalent value is pending without being claimed. So as you know, if the dividend is not paid, it is to be kept in a separate account, and all of that value comes to this much wealth. And there is Udgam portal, where RBI Bank deposit search is there, where you can search for, if you know some idea also, you can search if it belongs to you, maybe in any way if it is connected, you can search in that portal. And these are all initiated by government. And there is one SEBI IEPFA education camps regarding to educating this to public. And there is DigiLocker, which is a newly bought up scheme by the government, where all the assets and all the documents is being digitalized and it is being verified. So this enables so that we know the person who this belongs to, we can identify the next generation that may be transferred to, in case the hire is unable to claim it. So the solution is not the legal reform, it is to create awareness and implementation. And all of this can be done by succession planning. A well-documented succession planning prevents all of this. And 2 lakh crore worth, 2 lakh plus crore worth money could have been in people's hands if it was done. So just 4 days ago, our finance minister has launched a program. This was being pushed upon the finance ministry by the Prime Minister to release all these unclaimed assets. because that if it gets to the hands of people, it gets into deposits, it gets into the circulatory of the economy. That much money being parked is also contributing, it's not contributing to the GDP. So the finance minister has launched a nationwide campaign, and she claims that if you have any document not being fully, even if you have one document, if you know little information also, maybe about yourself, maybe some relatives, you can just put it to them and they will find out what is the actual owner, who is the actual owner, who does this belong to. So that is the new scheme, was just launched 4 days ago. And this being a serious matter, that is why succession planning is important in today's.
Yeah. So you see, how many of you have some deposit of father or mother which have not been given back to you? Sure, some of you had this experience. Father, grandfather, mother, they have 50,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, fixed deposit, savings account. Go to the bank, you know, your signature to the bank. Or do you have a will? No, they don't probate. And they get rid of you in seconds. But whose money is yours? It's so complex, it's terrible. Actually now I'm happy the government is doing something good. They say we'll assure you that you get your money, tell her if you have a problem, you have something. I can take a personal example of mine, an apartment that I bought a long time ago from Punjab Insurance Bank. And that was merged with HDFC Bank. So the title deed in Punjab, what they call warehouse or lock or whatever, lock up, whatever. So when I went to HDFC Bank, they said you belong to the Mallya pension. You don't know where the title deed. Oh my God. It was a 15-year thing. I paid it in 10 years, beautiful, as an extra, okay? And all you need to do is get a document. For 3 years, just to get my document after having paid in advance, what they call pre-closure. Okay. No, there, that. Then I said, okay, I'm useless to law. I said, my assistant technique, they also tried to do it. I said, what's happening? Fully paid housing loan. I want my title deed back. Then I said, okay, I have to use the weekly account. So what I put an email to bank. Give a document, payment sheets there. And I told them, and made a copy to Ombudsman, then reserve account in there. And a loan, paid, pre-closure, nothing outstanding, certificate of it, nothing outstanding, no title. So I said, and next morning they were all there. They literally came with a car, picked me up, took them, so sometimes you have to use power. Power given by the government. We don't use it. Doesn't matter, it's getting no fired. They don't know what you feel for the person. Imagine for a good asset and that too, don't fully pay that, you're going to create trouble. What are the ones who are not paying that? What are the ones who don't have documentation? Try to imagine it. Now we have to start taking that more. If you don't, you're going to kiss goodbye to good money. It's there, but you can't do this. I went to one of my bank, I said, my brother who passed away, oh, you get it for me. In good return value, you can only get rid of you. That's it. Not solve the problem. And now, documentation. Document. Not matter, it takes a few minutes. You, every Saturday afternoon, after you have to spend 1 hour, what documentation you need to do. That's it. Do it. And luckily, we got all the information available on the net. It's very easy. Of course, my recommendation always is a consultant to help you finish it. Okay? Because a consultant per se may charge a lot, but if you do want 90% over and then pay for consulting, then fees is there. But you need land. Don't overlook them, it will make very critical mistake in succession planning. Okay, so anybody want to have a break? If I don't give then no break. Yes, no? I thought we go to late 15. I'm just joking. We all need a break. So we break now. There are very interesting things that we talk about. Okay? 15 minutes break, 15 minutes break, enjoy your coffee and tea, and we'll explore some other issues which will really help you and keep it stimulate you for future activity. Yeah. Thank you very much.
This is my personal practical experience. It took me around 2 years to arrive at, to transfer the asset to the legal heir to the wife. Husband passed away in December, 26 December 2023. But like he worked in Canara Bank for 35 years. He has not done nomination. He has good number of bank accounts because wherever Canara Bank they transfer, they open one bank account in that particular branch. And he had some 7-8 bank account in the Canara Bank, but various branch. Worked for 35 years, all FDs, etc. US stocks, everything was there. But no nomination, no will, etc. He was just working and he got heart attack and passed away. And the kids, there was no dispute in the family, so that's why it was very easy for us to transfer. We just got two affidavits from the kids. We don't have any claims on the assets. Along with that one, it took me, because there were so many insurance policy which even I was not aware of it, and one of the mutual fund he has taken in 1995, Kotari mutual fund, which even I was I was not even 10-year-old in that time. So Kotari mutual fund got Franklin got again transfer, and then there were so many mutual fund. I got one physical document where it shows he has purchased SIP, and then we went to MF Central where you can get all the holdings for the mutual fund holdings. There are a good number of portals where you can get, because this was a SOA format. Mutual funds are in the two formats. One is in the DMAT and one is in the SOA format. SOA is basically folio, where it will be with the AMCs exactly. There won't be any digital track record apart from the AMC, or it will be with the SEBI. For them, the first 3 months to 6 months, it took me to make all the list of assets, LIC policies, etc., all the pension funds. Then we applied in the court, and everyone knows the Indian courts, they say it is a 6-month process, but it took me around 18 months to get a final order copy. We got the final order copy, and after that now we are transferring one by one bank account closure, and it took me another 6 months to get all the assets. Now in case of the international stocks, there is no concept of the nomination. There you need to have a registered will or the provide from the court order. Now if you are holding stocks in US, there is an estate tax also, and the estate tax is, if you are holding more than $60,000 of asset, it's 40%. So you transfer 100 rupees, even if it is and the value became 200, you will be paying $80 as a tax. Even that has to be done within 9 months of the date of demise. If you don't do it, then the interest penalties. And there is further US capital gain taxes also. हम लोग in हिंदी में कुछ बोलते हैं, खाया पिया कुछ नहीं, glass थोड़ा बारह ना का. So the US stocks are a bit critical. If anyone is holding foreign stocks, those becomes more critical than the Indian assets. Indian assets, you can go and literally claim in the branch and say, boss, you transfer my assets as soon as possible, we can fight. But US stocks or the foreign stocks, you will not be able to fight. It took me literally 2 to 2.5 years of time. This was my practical experience.
Thank you for the practicality. Thank you and thank you. So we have Bharat, right? So share his personal experience. Okay. It's a long talk. So now let's get into spending more time on our documentation. One for ourselves and then for the client. First thing is to do it for yourself. No, I don't have enough money, I don't get money, I don't have a plot, I don't have an apartment. It's all okay. Even if you have little asset, more than 18 years, make a simple document, 1 page, 2 pages. It's worth it. Best is Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. Yeah. So I will leave the thought with you. Now, would anybody like to share one more experience, something different on this? I'm sure all of you have gone through something other on your own behalf, on behalf of your clients. Yeah? It'd be nice. Would you like to share? Just we'll take one or two shares. Anything. Just 2-3 minutes. Anybody can share. Go ahead. Anything. Anybody? Would you like to share? No? Would you like to share? Yeah, go ahead. Just one small incident because I don't mean monologue or monopoly or whatever. Yeah? Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is my personal experience.
Yeah, keep it.
When after the demise of my father, so it took a long-term process as was mentioned about the elimination. So definitely elimination is one issue which hinders the process and it delays the overall transfer. Plus, what I figured out is if you have a will, then especially the immovable properties transfer makes the process gets a bit easier than how it is if there is no will. So this is my practical and personal experience.
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody share? Yeah? One more? Would you like to share something? Would you? Would you? Like to share something? Oh, come on, take care. Okay, good. So, now every bank, every mutual fund investment, I'm loud enough for you? You're clear? Yeah. So, you need nomination. Nomination is the lease. Nomination does not give you legal rights. You're only a trustee until you go to the correct hand or the right hand. Yeah? But at least you know it's coming out of the institution and going to you, your bank account, and you have control over it. So take an extra trouble because I've seen this bank, oh, terrible. I want to put out 50,000 with deposit. Oh, you want to put it? Come. Sign here. Mature, died. Wife goes. Nomination down there, go get a probate. Millions. Now you know, Nirmala Sitaram said, you can understand, 1 lakh crore, that's your money, some of it is yours, some of it is mine, everything is mine, also because it belongs to my brother and my father, right up to me. Yeah? And I can't even look at the bank to get the probate. You know, about 50,000, but what probate you want? Which lawyer you go, which court you go, which court you go. Take your time. Once a month, 10 minutes. So at least you need something better for the hairs. Okay. Nomination is something that you need to do immediately. Next 1 month, finish your nomination. If you have missed it. I'm sure most of you are not, but you have missed it. So, yeah. So laws surrounding success, I just picked up 3 laws, but there are a lot of laws that are applicable. And they are purely the Indian ethos. But I'm not going beyond the boundary. We're talking about the ones that are beyond the boundary. Oh, it's too complex. So we need a couple of weeks or months of deliberation. So that's why I'm saying that we are restricting to Indian ethos, only conceptual. And these are things that you can learn when you have the time, go through it and get a fair idea of what is Hindu Succession Act, Indian Succession Act and Indian Trust Act will give you a fair idea of what you can advise to the client. Hindu Act applies to, Succession Act applies to Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh and Jain in India. 1956, intestate and customary succession. Hindus by religion, Buddhist, Sikhs and Jain explicitly included. Converts to Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh and Jain. And illegitimate children. I can see some people nodding their head. I remember if you live a little long, you get a lot of experience of other people in your world. I had advocate, and that time there was an accident case, and I was summoned by the court in Mallya, and we had to go. It took up just I hit a bullock cart. I came from Ooty, and Ooty was coming to Bangalore by my car, and after having a coffee tea just like this in Mysore, I started driving. It was twilight zone, and I was driving, and I was within the speed limits that's recommended, not a major 200 kilometers per hour. I had a good car means not expensive, a small car, TSLU, it was a good engine, so tempted to the sound. Suddenly a bullet car appeared straight up. So my wife, my daughter in the car, luckily it was what you call a sports car remodeled as it took the impact, the positive impact. 3 of us would say, not in a crash. No crash for the farmer who was on it. And including the bullet, it was solid wood, so nothing happened. The car, nothing happened. And we were about to go and police stopped it. There was nothing wrong. We did. The person did not complain. Even we later said, go ahead, nothing wrong. When you do damage your car. And when I went to go, the highway petrol service, we were going to make it. Check with them. No, we are making it. The reason I know why they did that, obviously you also know. 25 years ago, the lawyer came and he said, there are only fellow offenders to be law. Each of the judges in Mallya said, you can plead guilty and pay 2,000 full. I said, why should I plead guilty when I'm not guilty? Oh, then if you plead guilty, I'll finish 2,000 penalty and you go. I said, I'm not guilty. But then I have to come from Bangalore every time they take it. You summon me?
Yes.
You gave me a non-bailable warrant. If I don't appear the court, you can arrest me. And you are asking me to plead guilty, and I'm not. It went on. 2, 3 different judges. Finally, one judge, why are you coming here 25 times for order and case like this? I said, no, non-bailable warrant. Yeah, but plead guilty, I can finish in 5 minutes. I said, I'm not guilty. Your Honor, I'm not guilty. Okay, they have to agree for another 10, 15 hearing. My lawyer said, because he couldn't talk from there, he thought I'll plead guilty. I did plead, I said no. So when I meet then she said, you wait after lunch and take a case again. Okay. Then all this police superintendent, all this kind of thing. There's someone did not come. And then what happened is, one of the inspectors and another, they had intention of claiming insurance on behalf of the farmers and they could get extra money. That's what I informed. But I went on next time, and that afternoon she called my first case. She read maybe 10-page order, which my lawyer said take at least 6 more hearings, and she said, you are a free man from today, case dismissed. Now, here's the case where anything can happen. So, why we're talking about this is the court procedures are long, demanding adjournment after adjournment, and some frivolous reason. That will take a long time. So now, what you need to do is documentation. Now in this, if you look at it, you also have illegitimate children. And why I was talking about this is when we were doing the airport, yeah? That time we were all motorcycle fans, we go and then they said we were going to make this airport here, the new Epicula International Airport. It was there after 20 years. And then they set up authority, yeah? You know what the authority is? You know the name? For the airport, they have to make sure that the surroundings, buildings are not tall, there is no butchery, there is no personal activity. You know it, I'm sure you know it. What's the name? Yeah. Okay. It is called Bayappa. So, if you want to buy land, building, you have to get Bayappa approval. Bayappa approval India. And you cannot Bayappa means anything. So, who is it Bayappa? Who is it? Not a person. It's I thought it. Bangalore International Airport. So, this lot of man would help me in a couple of times in the journey to the court to Mallya for critical time. He said, in the last 10 years, I made so much money because of the airport. Yeah? You know, what that's connection with you? The airport gave you business. No, the land we acquired for the construction, and companies are buying assets, immovable assets, to construct their offices or something, whatever. So then it gets clear and money will buy up. And companies should pay 100 crore, 50 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore. Then companies are constructing. Suddenly one person comes. I want not plan. There was some illegitimate. But I have already. Thanks to audio prove that it was some DNA. Now, if your DNA connected, so he has the right. So there could be a man who wants 10 different ways, not official, illegitimate. Everyone has a right, illegitimate.
Is it not applicable to Muslims? Islamic.
I have a very problem.
Is it not applicable to Muslims?
See, that's why I don't want to get into different territories right now. Would you like to answer?
Yes, I will take it up. Hindu Succession Act only applies to Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs and Jains. Muslims are covered by the Muslim Personal Law. And there is an Indian Succession Act which applies to Christians, Jews and Parsis. So all the Succession Act in India are divided based on religion because the background of how succession happened earlier was based on religion. It was differently followed by Hindus, differently by Christians, and even the relationship complexities in Hindus is much more than what you see in other families, like the Hindu undivided family, joint family concepts. Based on that, lawmakers have made succession laws based on the religion. So that's why, answering the question, Muslims are not covered by this act. They have Muslim personal law. They are covered by Muslim personal laws. Christians are covered by the Indian Succession Act. Yes, we will see the overview of that as well in the upcoming slides.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll not get into the nitty-gritty. There's a lot of other things to talk about. Abolition of survivorship, daughter-maid co-portion of by birth. These are changes that happen in the Succession Act. Abolition of doctrine of pious obligation. How many of you been advising on this? I don't know myself. Would you like to explain about that?
Yes, pious obligation is where there was a religious obligation on the highest to pay off the debts of previous 4 generations. And this was also made into a law before this amendment. So with this amendment that has been abolished. And covering the first point, abolition of survivorship is where earlier in the Hindu Succession Act, only if you are surviving, only if you are alive at the time of the death of the person, you were eligible to claim the properties. But that has been removed. So even if you are not alive at the time of the death of the person, your children can claim or your heirs can claim. So that has been removed. And the major addition is daughter being made co-partner by birth. This earlier, before this, daughter did not have any claim in the parent properties, and now they have been included by birth.
Yeah, we'll stop it.
Yeah.
Because it's a long road, so somebody has to intercept and take a shortcut. Then you have a quick lens, right? There's a slide. Okay, can you say something about survivorship
This
And
is-
that became one of the
It
points.
is the same thing as said earlier, but it applies even to the Hindu undivided family. Earlier it was covered for the individual also. It applies for Hindu undivided family also.
But this is from a particular year, no?
Yes, it is from 2005. Only from 2005 onwards these changes have been made.
That means who are daughter is there.
No, for the daughter's provision it is by
The
birth.
effect or for
For the daughter's provision it is retrospective. For this provision survivorship it is only after 2005.
Yeah, thank you.
Prospective means
Yeah.
the partitions done before that date will report.
No, if the partition is already done, then nothing can be done. If the partition is not done, daughter will get a claim in that property.
Okay, let's move forward. Then I'm going to just glance and catch some points. You need heavy reading and a lot of things. Class 1 heirs, it's a Hindu male right intestate. You are now class 1, first difference is there. Then you have class 2. If there is no class 1, it goes to class 2. Then if no class left, goes to class 3. Class 3,
So, in case of where a Hindu male dies, it first goes to the class 1 heirs, who will get it simultaneously and equally. If there is no class 1 left, as I said in the previous slide, son, daughter, mother, widow, if none of them exist at the time of the death of the person, only then it will go to class 2 heirs. If there are no class 2 heirs, let's take a list of class 2 heirs. It is father, son's daughter, son, son's daughter's daughter, brother, sister. If you see, class 2 has been serially numbered. So in the class 1, it was equally and simultaneously. Everybody will get a share. But in class 2 heirs, only it will get be in the order of this list. So if father is alive, then none of the other in the list will get a share in that. So this is the specialty about class 1 and class 2. If let's assume there is no class 2 left, then it will go to agnates. Agnates are those who are related through male lineage. So if you can connect the person who has died and the other person who is eligible to receive the property, if they are connected through a male lineage, only through male persons, then they will be called as agnates and they are the third recipients of the share. And let's say if there is no agnates left, then we will go to cognates. Cognates are those where there is minimum one of female in the connection between the relationship between the person who has died and the recipient. And let's say there is no cognates left, then we will go to the state, that is the government. This provision is there across all the inheritance laws. If nobody is there to receive, it will go to government. And maybe that is also the reason why finance ministry is pushing it. If nobody is going to claim, then they can keep it.
thank you. Ooh. And everything. Yeah, and just, and yeah, this is a stop. Somebody asked a question? No? I'm just glancing through it, okay? Okay, can you tell us about
Some special provisions which exist only in the Hindu Succession Act is right of a child in womb. Let's say there is a child which has been conceived and it is in womb. Even that child has a right to claim share if it is born alive. Let's say the father dies during the pregnancy. So and the child is subsequently born. Even that child will have a right in the father's property. And co-heirs inherit as tenants in common and not as joint tenants. That means tenants in common means everybody will get their share as separate and they will not treat it as joint tenants. That means their share they can dispose it of at their will, however they wish, and they will not inherit as a joint property. And there is a presumption in case of simultaneous deaths. That is, let's say if the person who is older and a younger has died at the same time, let's say maybe a car accident, and both older and younger were there in the same car accident, it is presumed that the older one has died first and the younger one has died next. It is a presumption made unless it is proved otherwise. It can be, there is a presumption that is made. And then there is a preferential right to acquire property.
This is interesting.
Yes, let's say two brothers have inherited a property and one of them wants to sell it. The other brother has a preferential right to acquire the property first. So the property has to be offered to the other person first and then to the outsider, only if he is not willing to buy it. And there are many case laws on this where they sold it to third party and the other person has claimed that you should have offered me first.
This applies to brothers and sisters also?
Yes, brothers sisters. Just for example, I took both brothers. It applies to daughters and sons are equal. So everybody will get share.
So this right what you just talked about,
Yes.
even if it's not particularly mentioned in the partition deed, the right to it.
Yes, this is there in the Act. Yes.
So you got your law irrespective
Yes,
of
correct,
whether
correct.
you make a mention of it.
Correct. Yes.
Just in the previous slide mentioned about the female dies with inherit property.
Yes.
What if she has a self-acquired property?
Even that case also will be same. That will be order of succession.
The father-in-law, son-in-law, husband-in-law.
Yes, it will go to the father-in-law's lineage. And then this interesting disqualification is murderer disqualified, which says a person cannot inherit the property of the victim. That means a murderer cannot inherit the property of the victim. It is a provision given there. So okay.
On this matter, what your viewpoint? Why was this introduced?
Recently we had
Was it loud?
Recently we had one incident in
That one, I didn't like it.
Recently we had one incident, right? Like IAS is got killed by wife and a daughter. Right? That is the example for this.
That is a right example.
Yeah, tell them about it.
Yeah, that is where the wife has murdered her husband. There is many cases we have seen in the last 1 year. There are so many cases. So if the murderer cannot inherit the property of the victim, that provision is covered since 1956. So
Murder has to be proved or like it is contested?
it has to be proved.
Convicted before.
Correct, that is correct. It has to be convicted.
So till that they can enjoy it.
And they can enjoy it.
Like this particular provision is not got right
Application.
not application. Dissemination of this information. It's done maybe lot of murder.
And don't disclose all this thing to your kit and kill.
You should disclose it. I disagree with you. You should disclose it because they
don't get
they can
They got good intention, they good hair, no problem. If they have any other intention, ho jayega.
Because it's only
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it goes on, the discussion goes on, there's a lot to cover. One point of the thing. Yeah. So, if we get into deep discussion, it takes a long time. So, just glancing at it. Multiple marriage, getting very common nowadays. Yeah? You know what used to happen during our time? Our time, my grandfather's time, my father's time, what happened?
Second one, child can get right now.
Yeah, if you answer the question.
No, that second one is
Yes, illegitimate children are also covered. In case the second marriage is not done lawfully, that is after the divorce, the children will be considered as illegitimate children, and that is also covered by the Act. So they can claim.
Right, thank you. It's getting quite complex. Especially after COVID, digitization, work from home. I remember in 2003 when I took first GM class, and there were 2 articles during in the session. After 2 years I met him, come back. This is my wife. It was the same batch, yeah. We got married, fell in love and got married. So, where are you? So I'm in London. And asked the wife with the young student. And I'm in Singapore, I'm in Australia. Live in London, live in Australia. When do you meet? No, we meet in Singapore once in a year. And that was in 2003. I don't know what the situation is, 2020. With the work from home culture, with people traveling on job and there. So it's getting very common. One of the classes which I recently had, many people don't want to get married, they don't want to get single. There are a lot of them. Then there is no government has even made what do you call live-in relationship. And live-in relationship, you know what happens. Then you know parties and then you have breakup parties.
They are not as married now. They are put as married now.
Yeah, they want to be, they want to have freedom. They don't get married, whenever they get married, they don't want kids, they don't. It's getting very commonplace. So it's getting more and more complex, okay? So but it's good for us. Yeah, you can do consulting. Karta, earlier was only male, now male or female. Karta, totally decision making. I think as early as recent as maybe 100 years, people used to work on a farm and this and that and live with a joint family. I think I know my grandfather lived with a joint family. It was a beautiful, let's say, setup. You were in the kitchen, you were directly in the hall, you were doing this, and then you were Karta. In Karta, you will listen to him, whether he is right or wrong, he is right. You know what I mean? And then they cannot handle dispute, they keep it. I know what they think, but keep it. This is what I'm saying. So that kind of understanding was there between the people. So, now government has introduced, the government says, no, even the courts are introduced, government has introduced that. Even wives can be Karta, ladies can be Karta. Co-personal, the co-personal achieve cannot gift or transfer their right in the asset of the achieved during their lifetime. Okay? But can bequeath their share in achieved through will. Their share. Okay? In a will. Okay, now these are the methods of how you can advise your client. Now just don't forget to read testament. There are many ways. Now gift deed, not really a permission to make gift to your relative. Gift is not marriage. All that can be formed if you are listening. Will applies. After that, achieve his ancestor property. Trust. Now this is happening in the corporate world. Many of us here holding lots of trust. And if you read all the things that's happening, you realize that trust is a beautiful thing because the trustees are empowered to do the thing according to trustee, and you make your own understanding. And anything happens to you or you get into any legal problem or debts or whatever, the trust money is separate. So now people are even doing private trust, where they put their property to trust, and nobody can touch it. Okay, that's very important. Suppose you have a house, and your husband is wife. You don't know what's going to happen. If he is old, she is very old, and you become very, very old, you live to 92. You're not going to accomplish. You won't know to read, you won't know to write, you won't know to. They can't see, they can't move. So a lot of things can happen. So what many of them do is make a trust, put the asset in that, and give the benefits. So the only beneficiaries of the trust. And that's happening in a lot of planning. You can do it for you can do a trust for a daughter, or a marriage, education marriage, trust for a son, so on and so forth. So that is going to be for them, and they can't do anything. You cannot gift it with them. Will come only after death. But you make a trust, and have a couple of trusts for your own family, and you know you meant specifically for this, which is the trust is concerned. And your personal liability cannot be attached to this trust. It's totally different legal entity. Yeah? Okay. That's something that you might want to recommend to your client. Oh, this is beautiful. You want to say something? Oh, I'll go ahead. Yeah.
So all these four methods are not like individually separate, or you can do only one of them. You can do a combination of them. Let's say you have multiple properties. Let's say maybe one of your clients has multiple properties. Some property can be gifted when he is alive, and some he can retain it for himself, and it can be passed to the heirs after his death. And HUF is a unique opportunity for all the Hindus, where they can plan this ancestral property to either keep it as a joint property or to divide it. And the trust is very useful when you have multiple assets, like when you have a web of companies, you are holding multiple bank accounts, multiple FDs. All those things can be put into a trust, where the trust will manage it, and then it will be passed on to the heirs based on the trust deed. And one important thing is to remember not to transfer all the assets in your lifetime. We saw a case of arraignments where the father has transferred all the shares during his lifetime, and he regretted it, and he publicly made a statement that please don't do this. This is my personal experience and an advice to all of you.
Yeah, thank you. And please, advise. Because once you're old, when I say you with me, the client, mobility, you could have a different kind of mental issue, physical issue, and you can't even see the check or write a check. And if you're getting a new generation password, very challenging. So, see how we can resolve certain control over the answer, and don't expect your children to be loyal to you. Don't expect. So that's a very important thing. And once you transfer it, it's here. You can't do anything about it. Yeah? So if you reserve it in the last day, how do you reserve it to prove successful? Yeah. So settlements can done. You have 30 members, 40 members, operators, joint property, assets, library, apartment, whole lot of jewelry. We get in that. Over 30 years, all jewelry is collected and khazana hota hai, But the whole don't distribute. Many members are old, many members are joint, children, grandchildren, illegitimate children, unborn children. So it sit down, the best thing, the court encourages to sit down. Let's all sit down together and sort it out. Let's go ahead and say, why you need to spend so much money, 15-20% of the asset. Sit down, let's say, apartment, settle and finish. You may win some, you may lose some, that's okay. Instead of going and getting a solution 20, 30 years down the line, you're not worth it. No, push for settlement. I tried to do 3% cases, only one worked. Two didn't work. And now they got to the courts. What do I do? Yeah? What else can I do? It's up to their mind.
It need not be registered, sir.
Yeah?
It says it need not be registered.
It will need not be registered.
What's the valid means to divide the property, even if it is not formally registered.
Now, see, it's.
In the case of transfer of property act, you will have to register.
See, now only what's legally yours is yours, okay? Okay, but if you have a lot of litigation over the generation, you don't know whose is what, because you have all the succession issues are there, okay? Going to the court is a long drawn process. 4 judges, 4 courts. Yeah. Good lawyer. Okay, so now what you need to do is push for settlement. Something like dispute resolution or arbitration. But arbitration becomes legal and in a different course. Sit down and say, let's have a 10-20 meeting. And charter account, please share for each meeting. Okay. Don't wait for them to settle. You can hold equations to change. After every meeting, then the bill and collect it. It's my personal advice to charter.
Can your property be part of the family?
Yeah, see, what happened in a HUF, okay? You have a share. Okay, and one of the members. Then that part you can say, when I have to get it, it goes to your part.
Not the
Yeah, not the whole HUM. You know that you already have this, you can say, okay, this whole HUM, I'll get out, man. But give me that. Okay. Yeah? And many cases happen. So you must push for that. That's your account. Because you can't put a code and litigate. We know the story of law litigation. Yeah. And courts love it because it doesn't come to the court. Without fraud, coercion, or undue influence. And try to get it registered. Writing, now it's fairly easy because of digitalization. I proposed a fee to my client for making a bill. And I said it was X amount. I'm not a big amount, small amount. Oh, but not it's something that's not. I said, I'm going to put 2, 3 days on your bill and oh, then I said, sorry, I can't handle it. Fine, good. But they're still friends, still my client, not good. But then you enter a digital life, you can make use of it. So he got a lawyer. He said, this is what it is. He got the first draft. Then he uploaded it. So the lawyer involved, and the agency uploaded it. He said, Nanu, I finished it. Thank you. Very good. All the best. So how much did it cost you? Oh, the whole thing, lawyer fee, but expenses around 8,000 bucks. So it's not enough. I mean, I said fee level. Yeah, unless you get good fees for that. But Kiran, I said 30,000 per day or 40,000 per day or per hour. Yeah.
35,000 initially and 4,000 per hour.
If you're somewhere there, it's okay. If you're 50%, you're okay. But if you go to it, come to it, no. Please take up yourself, please. Yeah? Gifting of property, do it. You know, under section 26. Now what is section now? In the new income tax,
92.
92. It's a 92. So we have no gift tax, and if you give somebody else, you pay X amount of tax, 30%. Because non-eligible relatives, what is gift tax now? 30% now? In the new law, the new income tax law, it's not 30%. Yeah. Yeah, 30%. Once registered and accepted, the gifted property belongs to the donee. Excluded from the estate share of special share. Okay? Very simple. Once gifted, it's gone out of the hands, gone to the donee. You cannot revoke if it is irrevocable deed, but if it is a conditional deed, then he has to fulfill the condition. If you don't do it, it reverts. Yeah, I told you about this. Be careful. Try to keep your control on your asset until your last day. Yeah, these are all common thing. Senior citizen. Senior citizen. All senior citizens are looking at me and laughing. So we have all issues. Okay, so it's normal. And then you have 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80, 90. One of my clients lived for 100. And they happened to, they were 95. So they came that day to do some work and I introduced them with my article to them. I said, he's been here with me from 1977. He must be 90 plus. I said, yeah, 93. And he was very agile, he spoke. And for the information, I told my partner and son, his father lived for 101 years. So after 95 years, if you use historical fact, he will live another 80 years. So, but these are all issues. So they can walk, they can talk, they can mental condition okay or not, unconscious, in a coma, accident, a person, in a hospital. If we find that the whom you are normally gifted, nobody does not take care of you nowadays. Courts have said you can remove it. Because the
It
minimum.
may unilateral.
Sorry?
Unilaterally it can be cancelled.
It cannot be cancelled unilaterally. It has to go through a court process.
Yeah. But now people are improved on that. They have made it a conditional release. Listen, on this condition, it's yours, otherwise, back to me. It's like in hospital, put it in some old age home, pay $100 or $500, and whereas they left you 100 crores. The least you can do is until the last day, make sure of this thing, hospital is there. Yeah, I told you, it's so expensive. But if you're not there, then you can do it. Maybe on lucid period or conscious period, everybody is the guy who's supposed to take care of me. It is part of the condition, I guess. Except that I don't need honest. In any case. Private trust I talk to you about. Secular author create Western country and many Indian citizens have done many trust projects. Many. And some of them are shareholders in big company. And they hold a lot of shares in all the shares. We go on by the Indian Trust Act. See the advantage? No, this is one solid planning advice you can give your client. Call them. Client doesn't know. Now I have a coffee with you. Chai pe charcha. Chai pe lenge. Discussion karenge. Have a discussion. It's true. This topic is very giving that. If you do it, it can happen. Reduces family disputes. DNA we spoke about Bhayappa. Yeah.
Once the property is settled to the trust, again trustees can settle to any particular beneficiary.
The trustees can? What?
Trustees can settle with any particular beneficiary and close the trust. Is that possible?
No, you have to follow the conditions of the trust.
The condition says that.
Yeah.
It has to be done as
You have to fulfill the condition of the trust. Yeah. Go ahead.
As per the trustee.
Sorry.
Whatever the trustee mentioned, that has to be followed.
Okay. The trust says it can be settled to any particular beneficiary at particular point. of
Correct.
time.
Yes. As per this trustee. Yes.
No. Yeah, DNA, be careful, means on advice to the client. Biological father, maternity, adoption, surrogacy, or child swap in hospital. Both picture again are mainly picture by child now. So DNA can prove it. So this is the case. All of you know that, right? Any worries? So he had a lot of illegitimate children and no son, he had an illegitimate son. And he was a father. And before you could not prove, before the DNA thing, but now DNA is accurate. And luckily DNA is so accurate, you people say, hey, he's your father. Yeah. So you give him a share. And that's how this case has happened. And recently, I think last week came in paper what the court said, finally. Transfer will, register will, two testator, two witnesses, and the video. Registration is absolutely optional. But registration can increase your value in terms of implementation. Instead of it is not an estimate. You have seen the case of Lodha's case. No limit provided to register. You can write it down and do it anytime, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. You can be registered by the concerned registrar of the office. Registrar of the office. Even I did resident, sometimes in the hospital, at home, disabled, doctor, be like this for 2 years, you're not conscious, but you can't move, you can't. Then you call a register at home and get it done, and have to witness it. So you need to test it. No, we cannot, one to witness this. Without that, we will not. So make sure that you. Now the registration process is good because we have digitization, they take a picture, that's good. At least two, I think we have to be a little careful here. Make sure the witness is not an angry person. If you are 60, you are making a will of them. You get to witness of 70. Because the court says, in case it's contested, the witness will come and testify. If witnesses are not there, then whatever, that is not invalidated. Right? So make sure you have a kind of witness. The youngsters, maybe 25, 30, so if you live for 90, they'll be able for 50, fantastic. Yeah? You agree with that? Or you want to give one? You just take a mic there. I can't show you. Take it. Any question?
So the instrument has to be on.
Sorry?
The wheel has to be on stamp paper or plain.
Not necessarily. Oral will be fine. Written will be fine. On a plain piece of paper. But get value, it has to be on a paper. And you want to vote, paper gives you an advantage of little more evidence in terms of when you bought it, when you signed it, because it can be able to have a date. Yeah. So it will help you. But if you don't register it, it's okay. Right? So in terms of value, you must make sure that you follow this procedure. I agree. Because even a well-registered contested is contested. So what about it? No, you are not. How many have you been to court on litigation? Oh my God. I told my article student, Disha is my article student. She just joined in August, so last month. She had taken a lot of interest in learning this Succession Act and helping Kiran. And what was the thing?
How it will be registered or not?
Yeah. So, but in what example?
He was asking whether it can stamp paper. It has to be a stamp paper.
Yeah. So the witnesses, okay, came to the witnesses. Okay. Witnesses must be young enough so they survive. Okay. When the contest takes place of 30, 40, 50 years later. So it must be any person. I'll come to that again once more. You asked that question over and over. Privilege will. Tell something about privilege will. Yeah.
The privileged wills are exclusively available to few specified persons. It can be made by members of armed forces in an expedition or in actual warfare. Only by these persons can an oral will be made, and that will be treated as valid will. And there are few conditions that there has to be two witnesses at the same time it requires minimum 2 witnesses at the same time when the oral will is being made. And it cannot be done by general public or any person other than those who are being specified. And next is living will.
It's a new thing that happened in recent time. Very important.
Yeah. So living will, also known as advanced medical directive, is something which allows an individuals to make decisions for themselves when they are incapacitated due to health reasons. Let's say you, being an old person, have been into a serious surgery or you are under life-threatening condition. So in that case, whether you will not be in a state of mind will not be there to make a decision on yourself. So you can write a living will where you can give a permission to the doctors, the hospital, to take you off the supporting devices so that you can pass away. And euthanasia.
Okay, I'll come to that.
Yes.
Thanks. So, yeah, answer for a question.
Yes.
Which law will this come from?
This is not from the law, it is actually a Supreme Court directive which enables living will to be made, and only passive euthanasia is supported, which is being validated, and Rangaswamy will explain on that. So there is no law on living will. It is through a Supreme Court has given a specific directive based on a case, and that has been being followed for the living will.
Yeah. I got that, thank you. So, just recently 3 days ago, 4 days ago, one of my nieces, she's 52 years old, and he's 52 in USA. So, last week or so, he got a stroke. Okay. She's working, he's working, they got a son in school, college. And in America, it's expensive. Everything. So, what happened? And they said he's got a stroke. You can keep him alive, but he'll be bedridden. And if he survives, he'll be paralyzed fully. So let us know. They got a second one. So between the second and third stroke, we got third day. He was conscious, and they discussed with that patient. And they said, they explained it to me. What? So we proceed with the treatment. And it was conscious, very clear. And what happened here? He said, don't think. We'll keep him on a bed for next how many years? I don't know. Oh, if I survive 100 more, I'll be bedridden. No point, forget the money. My life is terrible. So take out the life-saving support. So they removed it. And in 2 days, we passed it. Okay. So that is recent story last week. Now, whether that amounts to euthanasia or what? That means you put him to sleep. Or anything else. It's not euthanasia. Euthanasia means you're going to live like 95 years, but I want to die. Right? I broke my hand, leg, everything in an accident. What's this life on me? Fully dependent? No. It's terrible. Or got a disease which is so painful that you cannot live. Please knock me off. I don't want to live. Then with medical, this one, intervention means medical approval, checking all circumstances, then they give you euthanasia. Some countries do it. I don't think it's legal in India. It's not legal.
Not legal.
No. So, what is passive? Passive is the case of my niece who has been terminated. That doesn't. Today they passed it. So that is passive euthanasia. So what in a living will, and you go, oh my God, you're dying. Okay, no problem. That's okay. I don't want to spend money. I'll pass away, I'll go to heaven, and what do we do? You enjoy your life, take care of it, I got some money, take care of the son. And she did that and informed us, picture around here, I will talk about my husband's son. I'm so happy about it. He said, take care of my son, I will take care of the son. Yeah. Now that is passive. But look at a situation where miraculously we will awake again. A lot of people in coma reviving after 5 years. Paralysis, can't even walk, necking, playing dog. Miracle. In this case, you can be okay. That means you can use the money for yourself. The will is that. That's good. This is all recent development. That's called a living will. Can be revoked at any time. occupants cannot be entitled to benefits. You cannot be a beneficiary. Okay, I won't get into nitty-gritty. Let's glance it, we'll move it forward. Talked about it, choose carefully, much younger. They must be alive at the time of the dispute. Otherwise, we'll have to apply succession law and obtain probate. That will become for the more property. Yeah.
The probate is a mandatory.
What is mandatory?
Probate.
I can.
Yes. Probate is a process where the court approves the will, that it means validates the will. It is mandatory if in case there is a dispute. Unless there is
Dispute.
yes. Unless there is
But the will is for a unrelated party also.
No, I try to explain that. See, now we go to, I went to the bank, it was some 60,000 bucks, we learned from my niece. I went to the bank, they gave me a bill. And they don't know, they died of some ailment. Okay. Then I can't do it. If there's a bill, I can transfer. If there's a deposit, I can transfer. And what do I need to do? Get off in the probate. Yeah, that's the second. Okay. So the bank will not be transferred. Now, for example, some people have bought shares at 1 lakh worth about 30 years ago. It must be worth about 100 crores. They say, we can't give it to you. 100 crores. So they're very apply for 50,000 bucks or 100 crores, the same issue. So if you're not there in will or documentation, then we need to go for probate. Probate, you go to a court and you go to a whole process and person order, then money goes this way. Yeah?
Is probate an expensive affair because you need to pay a huge court fee and based on the value of the property, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. See, it's quite complex. So what I'm saying, depends on everything that you spend, you spend, it all adds to the cost and the value. Okay. They're both intertwined in terms of court case is expensive. I know that fiat value, okay, if I had to, you know how much it cost me? 25 visits to court. Driving in the morning, leaving at 8 o'clock, reaching the court by 10:30. Then take 1 hour for them to follow the cases, then they get adjourned to afternoon. And then pay my lawyer all the time. Petrol cost, my time, 25 years, came back. If a person was not interested in litigation, the whole job would have go in quickly hearing. These are today lawyers are very expensive. Good. Could be 50,000 bucks per day, 1 lakh per day, 2 lakh per day, 5 lakh per day, 6 lakh per day, 10 lakh per day, 1 crore per day. How can you get into litigation? Satyam, what's his name? The person who, the founder of Satyam, what's his name? Hyderabad founder, he became later Mahindra. All the data banks are attached. Because litigated, other people's money, OPM, other people's money, and change that here. There's no money to pay my lawyer. No, I let the government do what they want.
Probate is only if there is a dispute.
Yeah.
There is no will and there is no dispute. Then you don't need a you can adjourn to a partition deed.
correct.
But some registrar do ask for the probate for a.
Yeah, they ask.
Yeah, they do ask, but legally they are supposed to do based on a valid registered will.
A document.
Yes.
Yeah, if there is no valid document, then remove the probate. Yeah.
And also, as the sir said, in case of high value properties, they expect probate because it is on them also to be transferred. So with the probate process, they also be reliable. They have a reliable document to transfer the properties.
Now, in case, my question to you is, in case of a registered will, the example is the bank or somebody who is holding the property or whatever it is, can they insist for a probate? They don't want to transfer, they don't want to take risk.
Correct.
Can they insist and then I can say, no, I have a registered will, is it sufficient?
Yeah, okay. I think you want to run?
Yeah, they can insist and probate has to be processed because without that they will not transfer the property. So they will have to get a
No, the
probate.
insistence of probate is it legally backed? Legally backed.
Could you repeat the question because I understood in mind we got diverted. Yeah, because
So there is a registered will. Okay, there is a property, for example, is a crore with a fixed deposits in a bank. Now, after the event has happened or whatever it is, I am the claimant. So I go to the bank with a registered will and ask them, please transfer the fixed deposit to my name.
okay.
The banker says, no, I need a probate.
Okay.
Now the question of the banker insisting that I need a probate so that I am absolved of future litigation or claims, is it valid as per law?
Okay. One is therefore nomination. Is there a nomination? Yes or no? Is there a nomination? No problem. Because banks responsibility is over. Okay. If there is no nomination, they have to will. Or
Okay,
document.
instead of a bank, if it is a land, for example, it's a house property.
Property is quite
House
complex.
property.
Yes, whenever the dispute arises, that is when the probate starts. So if one party has disputed, then probate has to be done. Even in the Raymond, not the Raymond case, in Birla versus Lodha case, even the probate is still pending. Even after 25 years, the probate is not completed. That is why the Lodhas are not the legal owners. The property's shares are not been completely transferred yet. So probate is a time-taking process and it starts when there is a dispute. When two parties don't agree to the will, then the probate has to be done.
Okay, now let's need to bring a closure. I know they cannot debate this one for long, but then I have time frames. Thank you. Family tree, now very quickly, I'm going to do it in the next.
We will take it later, sir.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah. So, family tree, branches keep falling off, roots keep growing and adding. I'm going a little fast now, but not without compromise. I would compromise. Gen Z, today you heard a lot about Gen Z, yeah? Thanks to all the neighboring countries that something happening, yeah? They're not bad guys, they're good guys. He's a Gen Z, she's a Gen Z. But the attitude and behavior is the same. So, are aware of risk taking, they able to gain financial freedom. They have viewed diversity, I mean, not the real income, diversified. Doing some share and commission. They take up freelancing on gig. Sometimes they don't prefer employment. So they try to do something on like, I can give one or two examples. One I can recall it.
Like making vlogs on YouTube and affiliate marketing.
Gen Z. Yeah? Say it again loud enough.
Yeah, like gig platforms like YouTube is one, Instagram where they make affiliate marketing, blogs. All those are freelancing things which Gen Z people are doing in spite of having a job, or sometimes they do that as their sole employment.
Yeah. They are learning mostly from informal, but on the net. Social media, everybody is doing. So they are learning from what the others are doing through the media. Financial smartness. What's FOMO? Gen Z. You know what FOMO is?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. Gen Z attitude. Yeah, and I've talked to my niece who Gen Z. Do you know what FOMO is? Of course. Fear of missing out. So you're going by big car and I'm going by bicycle. Fear of missing out. Okay. They're going for a movie, but I'm not. They're going for dinner, but I'm not. Fear of missing out. But let me see if you can see that that's not FOMO. There's something else. What is FOMO? Joy of? Joy of missing out. It doesn't matter. Let them go. I'm at home. They're having some good food. I'm having French fries at home. Idli sambar. All new Tamil Nadu. Okay, now quickly. Well, there are normal things that you keep control on, private trust, a whole new thing happening in there. Very interesting, very stimulating. That's it. So, senior citizen home. I have a couple of my clients, but I didn't do any advice for that, but they did it themselves. But my father's friend, he was 85 years driving everywhere at the age of 85. Nanu, see, I'm 85, I'm driving. Your wife is also 83 years old. The son is in America, daughter is in-law in America, children are. Your dad with you? You're living with dad? Oh, your dad is so lucky. I'm so lucky. Yeah, I am so lucky. But he's not lucky because sometimes I'm not abroad. From me, I was alone. But he had so much money, he bought a rich home, which is more fascinating than real homes. Independent villa, this, that, all that facility. And all the money that he had, he gifted very good because tax-free. And whatever he had, he put it in trust, and he using for himself, and after them, it goes to the children. Okay, anybody visited living home, any retirement home? They are not old age homes, they're very exciting. Yeah. I went to see 10 places, more than the academic study. Wow! So if you are alone, that's okay. And one year I went to buy, that's okay. They are building that way. Swimming pool, gym, school, gym, all that will pay. And I know a recent story whether you're senior 85, 87, his son and daughter-in-law, his son and daughter-in-law finished his service in America. Both are senior citizens, they joined them in the villa in the retirement home. The both are not there together after 56 years. And now my son and daughter was being, and they got enough money going. And since it's a retirement home, all facilities are available. Group meeting, gym, jogging, doctor, everything. I told Mala, this time to go and visit. She heard about it. I told her, if you've been to any place, go for academic interest. Can I find your client? Or maybe it's for us. But we don't know. Now, visit for your order, Bangalore is full of them. And it's a good option in succession planning. Sea cruises. Heard about this? How many have been on a sea cruise? Just in 2 minutes what sea cruise is. How is it? Dynamic, it's please they want to see you.
Yeah, it's more than a 5-star.
They want to see you because sea cruise is something I want to say something about. Okay, sea cruise, tell them.
Yeah, it's more than a 5-star facilities nowadays, and bigger than any hotel. Will have all facilities, play, indoor, outdoor, pool, food, fun. It's a big. And who loves gambling, it's a fantastic.
Gambling,
yes.
Bar, and music, swimming pool, and all food free. Free means you pay for that. But you don't have to make it. So many people have sold their property, kept it in trust, taken a lifetime cruise. They go from India to America, Singapore, Europe, Gulf, continuously. And no maintenance. They come and clean the bedsheets. They come to food in the office. Is it 10 restaurant? At least for academic purposes, if you can afford, go for a 1 week cruise, Mediterranean cruise on nights. Or you can go for a Pacific coast. Yeah. We're lucky to go on. What do you call it? It's a word for it. OPM. You know what OPM is? Not a drug, okay? OPM is other people's money. So when I was on some assignment, this happened to be a white marketing achievement. I said, you are entitled for a 1 week cruise, both you and your husband. Okay. You asked me, would you like to join? So what do you think my answer should be? I'm asking you, yes or no? मैं आपको से नहीं जाएगा, इधर ही है. Okay, I can't give that, but plan for the holiday. You must try it. So पैसा ऐसा लगा है, 7 days, 10 days, okay. The kind of facility we have, mind-boggling. So retirement planning, many people have done that. Okay. Nomination checklist is already ready. Asset class, gold. How many of the gold price can I have? Yeah, if you want to do, you're welcome. I think you want to go. You're fine. Now, if anybody needs to 8 o'clock, so please let us know. It will give me another issue. Okay? Yeah. Okay, that was it. You want the question?
No, stand.
No, one or two interesting things I want to finish in a few minutes. Yeah. How many of you, what are the gold rate today?
129.
Yeah?
129,000.
How much 10 gram gold price?
129.
129. So if you got 5 gold coin, how much you worth? How much you worth? It's 1.2, no?
55,000 rupees, 5 grams.
So a couple of lakhs in your hand.
Yeah.
4 grams, fine. I know. So would you invest in ETF or would you invest in gold coin? Yeah. I'm asking you, I don't get an answer. Gold? ETF or gold? Storage gold. Technical gold. Fine.
Depends on the purpose.
Yeah?
Depends on the purpose.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. You saw what happened in India, Pakistan, not a match, partition.
Yeah.
People had to run the country, Pakistan, India, Pakistan. People just pick up whatever belonging they want and restarted in another country. Okay, India is one and other country. And recently, and before that, my client would say, it's a कागज ही है यार, वो तो आपके करेंसी होते हैं ना कागज, वो आपका जो क्या है वो बॉन्ड होता है ये होता है तो कागज ही होता है, तो करेंसी कागज, अभी फॉरेन इनकम डिजिटल, ना कागज भी नहीं है, बट इसे सोना तो सोना ही होता है, तो 10,000 का भी कितना है, but you can't keep all the things in physical form. So when have something for emergency like COVID, where people went from here to here, immigrants had to walk for 2,000 kilometers.
Yes.
And they just grab what was available and wait till the last second to survive and they must be fine. So my next question for you, is it physical form or you want it on paper? ETF. What would you prefer? Yeah?
Digital form.
Yeah. If you get in trouble, they jam all the way. COVID time, they were no gold on you. They jammed it. They can't jam. People couldn't go to the bank, right? So they can't run money. But keep some physical. Gold coins. Gold coins. If it's not like 25, how much is 5? So it's about 5 lakhs. So if you're running away, this much keep this much. 10 minutes. About 2 years again. Thank my client. I kept 5 coins for myself. I'm going to get those paisa, find it, how it is. It will last you for 2 years. रोटी का बड़ा मजा और नया बिजनेस भी शुरू कर सकते हैं, because this is all real value system. I mean, understand that how to advise the client, keep the client. If it, I mean, today digital, they can jam all your account in one button, bank account. So you don't have money, you have to go to your next house. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Anybody want it? Of course, somebody said chocolate is chocolate, but I won't recommend to you because I bought it 5 years ago. And one thing I will be careful of physical gold. Made rowing, she must not know where it is, but maybe could be dangerous to be keep it secret. Yeah. planning, AI can't really help you. You need human recognition to understand the client and help. So finally, AI can't help. Use the name, not for advertising. Tax is secondary, not primary in planning. Taxes, the foreign will say, eat 80% of ice cream and give 70% of it. On right from child, we use usually 30%. But many people look at taxation, then do planning, but not correct. Do the planning and then do the taxation. Because anyway, you have to pay taxes. We have enough cases where 40% is in this time. We used to have in India until 1995 Estate Duty Act, I think debt duty. We had wealth act, we had so many taxes, it all disappeared. Oh, you can have your old book, then they bought time, or 9. Okay, that's one more slide I want to show you. The biggest, you can bring this forward. Okay? Sorry, just take it. It's a little old. Can you put it there for us? Yeah, that's it. Okay, okay. What do you see? You see the try and start. Okay, can you count the number of stars that are there in the next 2 minutes? Or 10 minutes? No. Yeah? Once I came home, again home, treated my children and very kindly elected. And my father was getting there, late at night, very crying, go to sleep. I was a kid, sir, I was crying. Finally, he took out a car window, they counted car. So I started counting the car, those car, and I went to sleep in 10 minutes. So it was peaceful, we came back home. So the subject that we are talking about is huge, vast. It's like astronomy. So what we need to do is get in, stimulating. There is nothing called ultimate document in that. But there is other. And the population of 1.4 billion in the world is fantastic. Thank you for your patient listening and all the best. If you want to do anything, please, right there you can clarify issues that you want.
If few queries were unresolved, please email it to that and we will get back to you in 15 days. And please also give your feedback. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. We have a team, we have a full-time team. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, member. It was a fantastic session by mixture of young blood and the experience about the broad concept of succession planning in the Indian Ethos. A big round of applause for that wonderful session by senior member and the member who was convener of this Vasanagar ICI building and ICI building committee for the year 1992 and 1994, who was the instrumental in bringing the building for the ICI Bangalore Vasanagar branch. On behalf of the member present here and all the managing committee member of Bangalore branch, we thank CA Nanu or Mallya sir. I request our chairman Bangalore branch Manjunath M. Hallur to present token as a gratitude and respect. I also thank CA Kiran Rangaswamy for his deliberation on the topic. I request Chairman sir to hand over a memento as a gratitude and respect. Members, once again I thank you for your time, active participation for the today's program. Thank you one and all. Good night.
You have my email address and phone number. We are a team. You send it there. Any queries you want, answers you want, we will get back to you. Okay.
Thank you.